Welcome, folks, to Week 4's installment of the Fantasy Report. I'm your host this evening, Punt Speed Chunk. Well, this week we had a little bit of everything, including a new league record. So let's get right to the scoreboard. In Conference A, Steeler Nation wins their second in a row as they defeated Horseneck Hitters 90-67. A puzzled Horseneck owner Roger Miller said, "Maybe I should switch the pregame meal from hay to corn." Big D's comes out on top in the sibling rivalry game against Real McCoy's 118-95. McCoy's owner Steve Montgomery was visibly upset, and walking gingerly, I might add, as he was quoted saying, "At least he could have waited for me to get out of my underwear before running them up the flagpole." D's coach Darren Montgomery exclaimed, "Corn? How did that get in there?" Rudy's gang finally hit the century mark, but again came up short as they fell to the Aaron Rodgers-led Coco Nono Express 146-101. Speaking of corn, apparently Express GM Cody Parman had been smoking corn while visiting Indiana, as he is now shopping his quarterback around because he scored too many points. In Conference B, Vandalay Industries held off a ferocious pit bull attack from killer dogs and won 94-91. Vandalay coach John Jones was excited that they were able to deliver their first win. Killer Dogs owner Kelly Dobbins wrote in big letters, "Return the sender." Ren McCormick Slugbug got their X's and O's figured out just in time to D-Pants Mark's Power Surge 116-99. Even with the win, controversy still surrounds the Slugbug team. With the showing of last week's video, reports are swirling that the league is looking into possible infractions with child labor laws and that they are requesting players' birth certificates from Slugbug GM Ben Reinhardt. We will continue to follow this story and keep you informed of any updates. The Incredibles seem to have issues with teams run by people named Brian as they lose to the Smashdown Showtimers 146-82. Showtimer owner Brian Maurer reported that Incredible GM Tracy Weigel actually called him and asked that he rest his Green Bay players so they would be ready for the stretch run. Weigel denies this and says she just thought Flacco was a better call this week. In Conference C, the Raiders got back on the winning side as they beat Chanky for Life 139-113. Chanky owner Dylan Sturm actually talked to reporters this time, saying, "I can sum this game up in 2 words. Dave Bumgard." The blundering Herd showed no love as they bombed Jordan's Love Shack 91-58. Love Shack coach Cody Williams said, "I thought the B-52s were planes." Winning and Grinning finally live up to their name as they dumped the Trash Talkers 102-69. Trash owner Ken Fritz said, "I knew it was too good to last." So didn't we. When Grinning GM Cody Hilling was asked if the win was the happiest thing that happened this week, he replied, "Nope." And when he was pressed for further explanation, he smiled and said, "You'll find out later." In Conference D, So Random stayed perfect and danced to another win as they downed Team Awesome Waterboys 129-115. Random coach Hannah Fair said she was happy that she played the Waterboys as she was starting to get dehydrated from winning all the time. Team Think Gray grounded Black Bay and handed them their 4th consecutive loss 92-75. There seems to be some concern within the Black Bay camp as to who exactly is running the team. The league is starting to believe that Bay GM Dawson Clemenger may have to rethink his hands-off approach. Best Branch shined like gold and picked off the silver-tongued Real Mountain Man 97-84. Mountain Man coach Mike Bumbleberry was halfway through his victory speech when his dental assistant Hermie had to come up on stage and tell him he lost. And instead of talking to us directly, Brian's owner Sarah Ferris decided to use the social network to post her post-game comments. I mean, geesh. What's next? A blog called MakingMuchOfHim365.com? In our non-conference games, Max Megamin's approach shot landed in a sand trap as they fell to Hormel Spammers 123-112. Megamin owner Aaron McIntyre said, "Why does it have to be spam? Why couldn't it be treat?" Red Alert got downgraded to an opinion as they got crushed by Team Awesome 180-128. Red Alert coach Eric Hilling said, "I'm probably going to hear it from my son." Winning GM Cody Hilling said, "Oh, you know it." Well, for the second week in a row, the Team of the Week honors goes to David Weigel and Team Awesome as they scored a new league record 180 points in Week 4. Newly appointed observer Renee Weigel asked, "Did we win?" So much for that observer role. Well, Week 5 starts the NFL bye weeks. That means the Dolphins, Browns, Cowboys, Redskins, Rams, and Ravens do not play in Week 5. So be sure to check your lineups. For those of you who actually drafted players from the Dolphins, Browns, and the Rams, you won't notice any difference. Well, that wraps it up for this week. Tune in again for next week's report, and remember, the two most haunted words that echoes throughout all the world of sports are, that's right, say it with me, folks, Dave Bumgard. Thank you, and good night.